Good morning everyone, it's Chris the Ultimate Recycler here. Back at the shop we have, I think we're up to episode 11 of the Great Shop Cleanup. For those new here, don't worry about catching up on episodes if you don't want to. Don't feel like you've missed out on a lot because every episode is a journey within itself. We're cleaning out the shop slowly. I've been in business for like 23 years doing secondhand sales, cleaning up deceased estates. I've got storage sheds full of just, I don't even know what. Some treasures are so unknown that they may be treasures, they may not be treasures. There's a rough explanation for you. Anyway, we're at the shop. The place is on the market, the landlord's selling, and it's going to be the end of our business after a long stint doing this. I'm going to miss it for sure. The town will probably miss our shop. But enough of that. In fact, I'll do an episode shortly where I do a really detailed walk around the shop, probably early on a Sunday morning once we open. A lot of stuff. We specialise in not specialising, and I think anyone will find it interesting. There's always something for someone. Today, we're going to get some more stuff out of the storeroom. There was some crates that came from my parents' farm, which we did a great cleanup series on as well. I think they're going to have books in them, but I don't know what. So come along and have a look with me. We'll see what we can discover, whether it be something quick to process of low value. We've still got to do it. We've got to make decisions. That's what this channel is all about, not just moving stuff. Don't have doom boxes, which you don't organise, only move. We sort stuff and hopefully we make it worth our while. Let's go and have a look. Okay, all the lights are off in the shop and it's dark because we're not open today. We only open Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And it's a good chance for me to come and film during the week and get some more out of this storeroom. Now, for those that have been watching, you will appreciate this great expanse of concrete. For those that are new to the channel, you're thinking, geez, that's a bit of a cluttered walkway. Well, it was a sideways shuffle to get through to that room. We've made some pretty good progress recently. As far as the time frame to clean all this out, we don't know. The place is on the market. There was an auction last week and it failed. Well, it did get a bid, but it was a long way short of the reserve. And it may sit on the market for a couple of years, just panning around while I'm talking. And I would kind of like that. But then again, sometimes, you know, we're in a bit of limbo because we don't have a date to work towards. If it did sell next week, we may have minimum probably 6 months, and I'm going to need it. And if you think this is a lot of junk, well, this is just the tip of the iceberg. There's more storage sheds. There's a lot of stuff at home. And I did a walk around a while back showing my hoarder tendencies, shall we say. And I've been including a link in all these videos, so check that out if you want to have a look and see what stuff we've got to go through. It's a bit of everything. Today we're probably going to have books in these milk crates here. These were packed up from my parents' farmhouse when they moved. Well, Mum moved from the farm. We lost Dad just before the property was vacated, and I've got an update to do on the farm soon because the house has gone. I've got some photos to show you at some stage. Goes right to the roof here. I don't know what's in those boxes. Some of them may be empty because I do a lot of eBay. There's going to be a bit of packaging stuff. And sometimes I keep a box, you know, just because it's a nice box. No other reason. It'll be good for sending something in. Anyway, this side's mostly empty boxes and tubs. Let's get some of these crates through to the counter and go through them. Okay, it's much easier to do this on the counter than rummage through in the storeroom. You can hear the clock chiming there. It just finished. It's 10 o'clock. Got a reasonably early start this morning. Well, I've done a lot before I got to here. Okay, this says, turn that around a bit, to sell. Now, I think my brother Greg packaged these up at the farm. They would have come out of bookcases and things around the farmhouse. And we come up with the idea of dropping a garbage bag into the milk crate so that the books or whatever can be protected from dust and whatever, because we weren't sure where these crates were going to be stacked. They've been pretty safe in the storeroom out there. Luckily they weren't anywhere near the waterfall we had when there was a storm. All right, these look like mostly novels. So what are we going to do here? I think I'll just pull them out quickly and go through them. Most novels, especially paperbacks, aren't going to be worth very much. Some of these may end up on the book exchange. It's worth searching some of the titles if they're not just novels. But a lot of these are just paperbacks. They were cheap when they were first bought. They're not going to be first editions most of the time. So they'll probably go on the book exchange. There's some hardcovers here, some older ones, and these need checking. Depends on the author. condition is critical with books, and I often scan these old ones just to see if it's, what's this, Crocodiles and Other People by Douglas Lockwood. I just scan them to see if they're a first edition or not. This one says first published 1959, so it is a first edition. It might be worth just punching the title into eBay and see if they sell. But if you see reprint dates, I wouldn't even bother searching it, to be honest. Alan and Barbara Peace, what's that? Why Men Don't Listen and Women Can't Read Maps. Interesting question. So we're going to have a lot of these to go through. Some of the healing books. Mum was quite into her natural therapies and lots of stuff along those lines, and some of that can be worthwhile. And then there's just novels, an illustrated dictionary, probably from the 60s by the look of that. Don't think it's one that I would have had at school. I think it's a bit older. Does it have a date? Of course, it could have been a hand-me-down. 1958. Oh, produced for Australian schools 1974. Well, it may be one I had at school. Crossword dictionary. Lots more novels. Wilbur Smith, quite well known. You're probably seeing most of these titles upside down. Apologies for that. Okay. Life Energy, Chicken Soup for the Mother's Soul. A Bed by the Window. So mostly just very low value books. I mean, we do have a trolley where we have $5 a pick, and we do sell a lot of books from that, but it gets quite cluttered and we often move them to the free book exchange after a while. Okay, we're just about finished this crate. Some novels, some reference. Aliens Among Us. Probably quite a number of you. Leave a comment if you're an alien. Hints on managing everything. Home economics type thing. Okay, that's the end of this. We'll get a crate back to store something in. Anything that I suspect might be worth eBaying, I will pack away in a crate. I'll probably use the plastic bag trick again just to keep it safe. And once we finish the shop, I'll probably launch into eBay in a much bigger way. All right, I'll have to check some of these, but we'll get to the next crate and have a look. Okay, another crate, pretty much exactly the same, to sell. And do we have magazines here? An internet magazine, 1995. Interesting. So it's some larger books and magazines here. What we have, looks like a school reference, a skeleton book, Fishing World magazine, 1982. Almost old enough to put in the shop and sell. Generally anything 70s and earlier I will certainly consider pricing in the shop. 82, getting a bit earlier. Oh, the 82 Mad calendar. So Mad magazines have a following. Here we go, here's some. That's cracked, that's not Mad, but it's much the same I think. Here's some Mad ones, and some more of them. I think these might have belonged to my brother. He was more mad than I was. I can say that, it's my channel. He can say what he likes on his channel. Okay, lots of Mad magazines. So they will certainly be worth checking on eBay. There's heaps of them actually. So these would be mostly 1980s, I would imagine. There's a barcode, so it's going to be 1980s. Unless some were picked up in second-hand shops and they're earlier. It doesn't give a date immediately. Definitely the Australian version. Or that's the Australian version coming soon, is it? Okay. So that's got through those. Now we have some more books in here. English Thesaurus. A much older book here. Is this a Bible? It is, a Holy Bible. Bibles sell okay. This looks like it was my dad's Bible. 1949. Yeah, it's got some loose pages. Don't know if anyone in the family wants that. We have a reference book here on Australian coins, notes and medals, with lots of clippings from the paper thrown in. Mum used to save a lot of newspaper clippings. Extra information. Not sure if that'll have any collectible value. If there's any values in there, they're going to be well out of date. What do we got in here? Some smaller books. Chess Made Easy, little facts and figures books from the State Bank. Complete dollar and cent reckoner. Probably came in 1966 or thereabouts when Australia went to decimal currency. 11th reprint, 1971. It was printed in 65, so I guess getting ready for the changeover. A book on nursing. Well, people do collect nursing stuff. That's in really good condition. Again, you've got your obligatory newspaper clippings. So what date would that be? I'm guessing 50s era, 58. Snooker and billiards. We did have a snooker table at home. That went to an uncle. Dictionary, an older book here, a standard dictionary. That would have been a school one for sure. Golf, of course, there's going to be golf reference books. Dad was such a keen golfer. And I should add here that all those trophy glasses we found in the last episode of Dad's weren't all Dad's. Mum rightly pointed out that she probably won some of those golf trophies. She used to play golf in the earlier days. First aid book, another first aid book. Nursing, school dictionary. We've got a bit of a theme here, nursing and words, and golf, how best to play your golf. A book of the road, which is essentially an atlas. Oh, maybe not an atlas. I think it had maps in it. Here we go, it does have maps in it. Dictionary and thesaurus. This is the education department. The reverse dictionary. How to find words on the tip of your tongue. Interesting. That might have a value. And down the bottom, last one in here, we have a Melway Greater Melbourne Street Directory 2011. Some of the early editions of Melway do bring a lot of money. I think edition 1 used to bring $500 plus, but anything in the lower editions, there's lots of little bookmarks here. That's in pretty good condition, actually. This is in the middle era where it's not old enough to be that collectible, and it's probably not new enough to be that useful. Edition 38. Not sure. Check it out online. Some people do like to collect the sets, and that one is in very good condition. That's the end of this crate. All right, we'll move this off and get another one. Okay, crate 3. Again, it says to sell, and I'm going to up the tempo a little bit because I want to get through all these crates today, and I don't want to bore you guys silly. That could be quite a good one, a book about gold. Certain topics do have a very collectible following. Sudoku, desk calendar. Oh, look at that, you've got to do one for each day. That looks new. 2009 calendar, but I'm sure someone would like doing the puzzles. Reader's Digest books and novels. So yeah, I don't want to bore you to tears. We have some cookbooks and lots more novels in this one. I'm not going to show you too much unless I pull out something interesting. That looks like a royalty. Oh no, it's cake icing and decorating. It looks like a royalty book. 1950s. Might have, yeah, look, might have some interest in that one. And lots more novels, old paperbacks. In Search of Stones, history stuff, and that's an older Adelaide Street Directory. That could be worth something. A lot of these might get $5 or so. We've got a lot of books to put through the shop. We've been moving the ones in stock out the front, and they've been selling pretty quickly. Book on gemstones. And we'll keep doing that. We'll keep pumping them through. New stock coming in, older stock going out the front. And we don't want to give them away if we can readily get $5 each for them. Surfer magazines. These would have been my brother's. Oh, and martial arts magazines. All right, I'll have to check those out. They're mostly 1980s era or 90s. I was just going to have a quick look. We've emptied the tub. Have a quick look at this Street Directory of Adelaide. It looks early-ish. 16th edition. Does it give a date? I'd say probably 1950s. It has very 50s colouring to the ads. It's in excellent condition, but I can't see a date. So yeah, really good condition. And a beautiful ad for Ampol on the back showing the old oil bottles. Those bottles and that rack, a set like that would make 1,000 plus. Nowadays probably a lot more, depends on the condition of the tin tops. Very collectible stuff, those oil bottle racks. All right, that could be an eBay item. It's in such good condition, but it's certainly going to be better than 5. Let's get the next crate. Oh, okay, this one's heavy, but it's probably going to be much the same. It might have big books. Oh, okay, here we have some large coffee table type books, and these will sell quite well. Weekly Times, but very glossy, professional looking books. Pest control, resources, home landscaping, more of a vintage one. There's lots of larger books in here. Techniques and tips for gardeners. Medical advisor. Oh, some big ones down here. What are these? Probably more gardening books. Complete book of the garden, Reader's Digest. And herbs. Mum is still very much into her herbs. The Lazy Gardener, that describes me. To the extent that I'll pay someone else to do it. I don't mind it, but I just have too much else going on in my life. Permaculture, Feed Your Brain. So a lot of gardening and farming related books here, or household related, and a bit more health, garden construction, the garden book, and the last one is a gardening one as well. Righto, we got through that one quick. This one's much lighter, but I'm thinking it's still books. Yeah, it looks like it's just more paperbacks, more modern ones, so they will sell okay. A lot of people come through here are tourists, of course, and paperback novels sell quite well. On holidays, I guess, people get a chance to read novels. A lot of Bryce Courtney. Is that another dictionary? Yes. Oxford Dictionary. The Serious Joke Collection. So yeah, lots of smaller books in this one. End Procrastination. It always amused me when I went to college. Someone had a note pinned on the notice board that said, tonight's Procrastination Society meeting has been postponed till tomorrow. Aussie trivia. Bit about caring. Who cares? Health, okay. Some mental health stuff. Baking bread. Some more vintage stuff in here too. Novels, what's that? The Husband's Book. Rex Hunt, so he was a Australian rules footballer that became a broadcaster, and I think he had a fishing show as well. And what do we got in here? Last one, Super Living, how to make the most out of life, or most of life. Absolutely support that. All right, let's get the last, well, one more crate to go. Let's grab it. Last one. Oh, and this one is heavy. I guess more big books. Yep. More encyclopedia of animals, more large coffee table books, insect life. Oh, some sporting ones. Ian Chappell. And some footballing ones. Vintage cars. Captain Cook. I remember that book. It might have been a school one, primary school. Papua New Guinea, a bit more vintage here, children's book, these could have been from my younger days, and some cricket, what's that, Super Test Fun book, Whoopi Annual, what's in this side, Sci-Fi Now, Man on the Moon, Science, I do remember that one, Science Encyclopedia. I think we used to do a lot of things, oh, it was Greg's, my brother's book. But I think we used to do experiments and things out of this one as kids. Veteran Cars, Great Barrier Reef, so some animals and Australiana type books. And what do we got down the bottom? Some more novels, paperbacks, Alistair MacLean, Goldfinger, James Bond. Some of the early James Bond books can be worth money. More James Bond. Mexico. And a couple of older ones here. The Fortunes of Fifi. Interesting old book. Oh, I'm guessing 30, early 20s maybe. Actually, it looks very Art Nouveau with the floral decoration, so maybe even earlier than the 20s. Oh, it's got the old paper over the graphics, so it could be early, yeah, 1903. There we go. And this one's Frida's Great Adventure. Similar era, but not as good as condition. It's got a December 1910 date, Sunday school. A lot of these books were awarded for Sunday school prizes. This was awarded to my grandmother, my dad's mother. So don't know if any of the family members would want that. I will check with all these. So that's it. We've finished all the crates of books. Let's go and have a look at how much space we've made, and I'll have a quick chat to you about how I'm going to process all these quickly. Okay, stack of milk crates for me to go through on Friday, along with the stuff I unpacked just the other day, and a bit of stuff I've brought in from home from my emergency storage shed unboxing. I'm going to have a busy Friday. Let's go and have a look out at the storeroom. We have made some more concrete available. The room is expanding even more. So I believe that finishes the farm stuff that I've got in here. So next episode, whenever I get around to doing it, I think I'll do a walk around tour on Sunday maybe. We might unpack something. We have lots of stuff that was moved from my shop next door. Some of it from deals I did years and years ago. Don't know what's in that box. The box itself isn't much good. It's just chipboard on that side and it's been quite wet. Old boxes of shed stuff here. I noticed there's a lot of Nissan car manuals and things down there. Some of those might be worth eBaying. Not sure what's in the other boxes. I know that steel cabinet there has a lot of car manuals in it. And that box that's screaming 57 at you, let me know in the comments if you know what's significant about the number 57 and the company involved. If you scan back through some of my early videos, you would have seen the other side of the box. Okay, so we're making good progress. Next episode, other than a shop tour, we'll get into this stack in the middle, move around to get this steel cabinet out, but there's a fair bit of stuff on top of that. And I think that box under that nice old lampshade is full of woodworking tools. Not sure. We're going to have a really good variety, so hang around and cheer me along. Hopefully we can get this room empty and then we'll probably move to that room. But we do have to get out the back and deal with some of the old lawnmowers and things out the back too at some stage. Okay, you've all heard of the phrase to judge a book by its cover. Well, that's pretty much how I'm going to sort those and price them over the weekend. A glossy, fairly modern novel in good condition and the cover looks nice, I will put a better price on it than one that's scruffy or older or the cover looks a bit boring. It's the facts. People will buy what looks... Why do they think they go to so much trouble to actually do nice artwork on the cover? It does influence the sales. I will be checking older books. As I said earlier, anything older, I'll make sure it's not a first edition. If it's a reprint, there's chances are it's not worth much. There's always exceptions to the rule, but the bottom line is that 99% of books are really not worth much. Just someone wants to read them or someone wants the reference, but these days reference books are less valuable because of the internet. There are authors that people chase. There are certainly gems amongst it, and I don't claim to know a lot about books, and there's quite possibly a chance that someone will get a very rare, valuable book here for $5. If that happens, fine. No worries at all. No one knows everything, and I've been to some antique shops where there've been super high prices, and I've found a bottle that's been really valuable for next to nothing because they didn't know. It happens. No one can know everything. I'm going to price them, as I said, based on appearance, based on a gut feel as well. I know what sort of topics people chase. A lot of health stuff does sell quite well. The better cooking books do sell well. Sporting books and your Australiana type coffee table books don't usually sell that well. There's a big variety in there and it'll keep me busy. I will eBay check a lot of them, but there'll also be a lot that I'll just duck shove to the $5 trolley or even the book exchange. So that'll finish this episode. I'm pleased we got through all those crates. Hope it wasn't too boring for you. We'll catch you in the next video. Bye for now.